Recording in progress.
Welcome back, everybody, once again to another episode of Fathericity. I'm here once again with our co-host Charlie. Charlie, how's it going?
It's going great, man. It is a busy season right now around my house. I don't know about yours. That's
I
why it's
know,
been a while since we did an episode. It's just been
yeah. So this is episode 15. If you wonder where we've been, life got in the way, um, and it kind of spurred the idea for this week's episode. And Charlie already alluded to it. Scheduling. How do you deal with schedules as a father, as a husband, as a dad? How do you deal with schedules in your household? Who takes the reins? Who's in charge? What happens if you forget to put something on the calendar? All that stuff. So we're going to talk about that today. Um, Last time we spoke, I listened to one of our previous episodes because I'm that way. Your kid saw the Mario movie. How'd that go? I
oh,
mean, you talked about the Mario. We talked about the Mario movie, and you said I gave it a 3 out of 5 and said it was a really good movie. And you've recently taken your kids to see it. How'd that go?
it went good. The kids loved it. It was a little different than what I thought. I thought there was a lot of opportunity for it to be, uh, I guess, kind of woke, as everybody would say. Um, they did portray Princess Peach a little differently than I thought they would than in the game, I guess. But no, overall, I thought the movie was very good. I think you're right on with it's a little above average. So 3 out of 5 was a pretty good score.
Yeah. So again, the kids liked it. The kids enjoyed it.
Yeah, yeah. The kids loved it. The animation was good. I mean, it was pretty good. I mean, now the
Are
only
they?
thing is I could see it being I was kind of surprised at this. I don't know if they've gotten in trouble for it by like PETA or anything, but it was a
Mhm.
little anti-turtle. I really felt like that the turtles got a bad rap in there and they were portrayed poorly. So I don't know if there's anybody that's pro turtle out there, especially ones with like spikes on their shell. They may be careful going to watch it.
Well, I will say this: as you know, Mario, the Super Mario World, um, they're Koopas and they're not turtles, so they're like lizard things, and they don't really exist, so that shouldn't be a problem. So,
Okay.
but if it is, hey, you know it is 2023. Everybody's got an agenda. Someone's got something to say. Um, so yeah. So let's get into it. Let's just hop into it. One of the reasons why Charlie and I haven't been able to record is because it is the spring, and you know what spring is for parents: softball, baseball,
It is
youth league sports.
it is
And,
my household very hard. We are
and
all three kids are playing. We've got three different teams. We've got three different practice schedules, three different playing schedules, minor travel. I think both the older ones will have a couple games that are out of town. For the most part, everything else is local. But yeah, I mean it has been a crazy season, and I mean we still got like a month left.
yeah. So I know if you're not familiar with Little League Baseball, especially here in Texas, Central Texas, where we're both at, um, Texas weather does not care about whatever schedule the commissioners or the coaches and of all the leagues for Little League have. They don't care about schedules. So you started the season with a clear cut schedule of all the games your kids were going to play and all the practices your kids were going to have, when and where. And then Texas weather decides to do what Texas weather does. And you went from having 2 games in a week to having 0 games and 0 practices to having to turn around the following week, have those games rescheduled just for the weather to show back up again and jack it up some more.
Yeah, no, the weather is definitely hurting us right now. We our schedule pretty much we're lucky if we get a night without games. That's where we're at right now. I mean, pretty much every day of the week we'll have 1 to 2 games in order to fit it all in. Um Luckily, the nights that one played out of town and one played in town have gotten weather delayed. We do have one of the travel fields that we go to that's turf, so you still get to go play there. So we
Yeah.
had to wait out. Though we just had hailstorms come through probably for the last what 2 or 3 weeks, and
Mm-hmm.
as one of those storms hit, we're getting text, "Hey, no, we're still playing. All we're doing is we just gotta. It's gonna be blowing through quick." And about that time, you start hearing it hit the roof. It's hitting the house. It's 45 minutes away, and they're like, "No, just let that blow through, and then we're gonna delay the game. But everybody, come on over. The fields will be fine." And we got there, let a little rainstorm pass, and the 8U girls team went out there and played a game. Played a good game, as a matter of fact. But yeah,
Y'all played a game after a hailstorm.
yeah, we were getting ready to go load up when the hail started hitting at the house. It's bouncing off the cars, it's doing everything like that. We actually had to text, "Hey, we were trying to load up. Hailstorm got here. We'll be leaving as soon as it passes." So man,
Man,
that's where we're at.
that's crazy because you got to get the games in. You got to get the
Yeah,
games in.
because you're just postponing them. You still got to play them. And like I said, our schedule's full. We've got games all the time through here. So there is not a lot of room. We're playing. My daughter had another game canceled. She played a doubleheader. She's already had to play a doubleheader, and we're only like 3 or 4 weeks into the season. So
Yeah, I know parents have always been upset with that, especially around state testing in the public school system. And you got to take your kids got to take a test the next day, the following day, and your kids got a 8 o'clock start time for a baseball game the night before.
yeah, that gets over 9:30 more than likely.
Yeah, and you got to travel home, eat dinner, all that. It's crazy. I don't know. So that's kind of what we're talking about. That's just one aspect of the scheduling thing, and that's the schedule being controlled outside of your house by someone else, and your family having to adapt. But we're just kind of discussing like how do you go about as a family making sure your calendar is set so that everybody knows where they're supposed to go and everyone is where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. How's that communicated in your household? Who takes charge of that? Who's a leader of that? And what happens if something breaks down? So uh, we talked just before, and I realized real quick, Charlie and I, neither one of us, our families, are real big on having the the Google Calendar, the Apple Calendar on our phones synced up together,
Hey,
and
that
everybody knows everything. It's just
would be a
like
good
wife
idea.
sends text. Don't forget 5 o'clock.
Well, most of the time I'm asking. I'm asking at supper at in the evenings, "Hey, what do we got going on tomorrow?" I'm asking at breakfast in the mornings, "Hey, what was that?" I may call during the day. Did I forget something? Where are we playing? What time? And bring all that up. Just I'll touch base trying to follow up because even though I know she's told me a couple times and it's on the calendar, like I said, as games get rescheduled, as things move around, I can't hardly keep up with it. But we do have a family calendar. We have just one of the small giveaway calendars that's up on the wall, and we'll write down. Last year, I think I went in and made a spreadsheet and had all the days and then where the overlaps were and like that. And this year, she's went on a handwritten calendar that we have in the schoolroom with the kids, and she'll go through there and have everything wrote out, and then that's just what we follow. We reference that calendar for practice and game schedule. Not
Okay,
to
what
mention,
about other things? Parties, anniversaries,
okay, now
trips.
those are on a separate calendar that you just need to be keeping up with in your own phone or however you manage your own stuff. There's no
That's what I thought. I don't think I walked into households, different people's houses, friends, families like that, and they've got some sort of system set up to where they kind of know what's going on for the most part. If something pops up last minute, it's different. But if they have enough planning time, they kind of know. But like you said, it's more for like kid driven.
Right.
or the events and activities kids are involved in, but not necessarily doctor's appointments or you know birthdays and stuff like that. You just kind of like wait for the card to come in the mail, like, oh yeah, or the text message, oh, doctor's appointment next month, don't forget, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we certainly don't have in my household, my wife and I, we don't have anything. If you haven't realized this by now, our schedule's based on basically what our son's needs done, needs to have going on most
That's
of the
everybody.
time. So
That's everybody's
he
schedule.
is
And it'll get
calendar.
worse as he gets into more stuff. As he gets older and gets involved in more, your schedule is going to be dictated a lot more by what he has. And I can tell you, I don't get a chance to go to all the ball games or practices. I'd love to, but it's not feasible for me. Uh, I think you've even coached like Little League before. I haven't because I
Yeah.
know with my schedule at any given day, I won't be able to get home on time. I may get called away and I just won't be there. So I don't want to make like that commitment and not be able to show up. But so far, knock on wood, this year I've been able to make all the games. Like I said, we haven't played games in different cities yet. When that comes up, we'll just have to kind of divide and conquer. But uh, we've had 4 games played the same night, just on different fields. Luckily, they were on side by side fields, so I could go back and forth and watch what was going on. And so that was pretty cool. We had all 3 kids play in 4 games that night. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well, I know this because we keep up with each other sometimes better than other times. But like I know like last fall, your kids were playing soccer. And soccer was fairly set in the sense that, hey, all the kids play their games on the same Saturday
Mhm.
in the same area. So I think those are the types of things that people really enjoy. Like football and soccer kind of lean themselves toward that in the fall because it's just a Saturday. You
Right.
may have a practice during the week,
Our
but
practice.
games are always on Saturdays. So you just know your Saturdays, if it's mornings or Saturday mornings are booked, you're booked until like 4, maybe a little later depending, but you just know your Saturdays are done. But again, in the fall, I mean in the spring, for youth sports, it's crazy because the weather. I mean, just the weather alone makes it so difficult. And again, you've got 3 kids. I can't imagine what's going to be like when Trent is playing sports. We've had this conversation before. I said it today talking to another dad. There's also a coach where I work. I'm like, my son can take part in any sport and any activity as a youth except baseball. We've
Except
had this
baseball,
discussion
you can't
before.
do that.
Yes, I can.
I mean,
I would rather I'd rather Trenton do 4-H or FFA than play baseball.
oh no, he's got to do both. He's got to do both.
No,
Quit thinking it's an
no.
either or. It's all and. He's gonna do all of it. I'm telling you. You could say that, but you want him to be involved in as much stuff as possible, get him as well rounded as possible so he can find out what he's interested in.
I
That's
digress.
what you have to do right there. Now think about it. We're talking about rec league baseball. This is my schedule of rec league baseball. All these parents out here, and hats off to you guys that go and do the select ball two to where, hey, you've got a rec league team, but we're doing tournaments and practices with our select ball club, which I kind of think select ball has been watered down pretty much. It's not the best of the best guys or girls are going and playing select ball now. It's, hey, whoever's parents are willing to pay. We have different levels of select ball. And if even if your kid's no good, there's other people that have money to spend that we can have kids on your kid's level where you can go play and it'll be
Yeah,
even playing field. They're not
yeah.
like, prospects growing up here. It's just, oh yeah, hey, you want to spend $15,000 a year for your kid to travel and play baseball and get a hoodie and a bag? Cool, let's do it.
See, I watch too much TikTok and I've seen those videos where like the dad is just mindlessly riding in the car and the mom is like grinning from ear to ear because she knows, for example, it's like cheer. They're like their kids in cheer. Like the dad's like sitting there like, I'm paying all this money. I'm paying $50 for 2 tickets to watch my daughter perform in a routine that's 2 minutes long. And then the mom's sitting there like, oh yeah, I've also spent $500 on the outfit and a jacket and 3 cups of Starbucks. So you just thought you were spending money and stuff like that. Oh, and this is every weekend for the past 6 weekends.
Uh-huh. So
So I know money's something different, but like just the time that you have to spend in a vehicle, what do you do with the time?
I don't know. And I don't know. This would be interesting for everybody to weigh in on. I don't know where you start deciding that the level of success your child is having dictates letting them continue to play on all these levels. Is it strictly they're enjoying themselves and they have friends on the team, so you just keep going well after you know that this is going to be something that pays off for your child? I mean, I don't know where to cut that off at.
You're talking about the social versus the
If
athletic
they go
achievement
and
that
do
it.
this year after year, they're going to have friends that they come up and they're playing on a team. And even, if they know, hey, I may or may not play baseball, softball, soccer, volleyball, whatever it is in high school, and for sure won't do anything past that level. I mean, what level of involvement do you continue to allow your children to have versus exploring other interests that they may be able to do later on in life? Like,
I
for
wonder that myself. I think that's a question we'd have to ask somebody that's been through it. Like I
yeah,
got
I don't
seniors
know.
getting
I
ready to
mean,
graduate.
we both agree we're both pro sports, so we agree that playing in sports builds confidence and self-esteem, and there's a lot of good things that you learn from playing competitive team sports and individual sports, right?
Yeah.
So we're not saying don't do that. I just don't know where that line is to where you start pulling back a little bit to go, hey, you're gonna be a sophomore in high school. You're not on the high school baseball team. Do we really want to keep doing this and going around and doing all these tournaments and taking all these lessons if you're not getting looked at and you're not going to college? How about we start getting into some other interests that you may be able to do later on in life? Like,
How about welding?
yeah,
Take a ag mechanics class.
anything like that, man. I mean,
Yeah. Um.
I don't
I
know how about a part-time job? Here's something you don't
yeah.
think about anymore.
So like, for me personally, I made that realization pretty quick in high school. Now, granted, we weren't playing select league sports in school. Like our socialization was high school sports or high school activities. Um, so I realized I played football all for since sixth grade, sixth to 12th grade. Was an all scout team All American my freshman, sophomore, junior year. Uh, but like I realized after playing football my junior year, sophomore year, I was like, I'm not playing anything else. Like, I'm not good enough for the basketball team. I might get lucky every once in a while and hit a shot or two, but like
Right.
that pressure of being like on the court and being a guy on varsity playing district games, trying to, win district, go to the playoffs, all that stuff. I wasn't built for it personally. And it just
That's
wasn't the
that.
thing for me.
And now you've got AAU in all the basketball.
Yeah. But I think a lot of kids do it. Like a lot of Mahia kids do it. The students we have currently do it. If you're good or you're told you're good enough and you've got people looking at you, like I said, I'm all over the place. I have a coworker whose son is like less than 10 years old and they're going to a camp, like an AAU type camp in California this summer.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know how good her kid is. I'm like, I don't have a clue, but I've watched TikToks of third grade boys shooting half court 3-pointers and doing this and all this doing the gritty and stuff after making jump shots and stuff. And they got highlight tapes in the third grade. So like someone's hyping them up. And that's the thing with our society today. I think that's the question that kind of dictates what you're talking about. if you've got people hyping you up, believing that you are possibly better than you actually are,
Well,
when do you come to the reality, or the parents come to the reality of like, hey, I love my kid. He ain't balling like these other kids. Like, at what point, like, I'm with you. At what point do you as a kid or the parents who are spending all this money have that wake up call and be like, put it this way, if my son was on the court, I've watched highlights where Zion Williamson was in high school and these little kids are guarding Zion. And I'm looking at this. You're going to where? Duke? Duke? I can't get a community college to look at me. I'm good.
yeah, well,
Mom, I'm just gonna
here's
play.
the
I'm
other
just gonna
thing.
play high school basketball and be done.
Here's the other thing you have to look at too, and it's all about the money. Look at the economics around select baseball and all these tournaments, select softball, same way. All these big volleyball tournaments, soccer tournaments, AAU, all the people that these few kids that actually have a chance to make it and go somewhere, all the money that the coaches and the system get from those, right? That comes in. And
Yeah,
in order for those kids to be able to get showcased and go, they have to have some kids that they know aren't as good still pay for travel and to be able to go and put teams around these guys. And I mean, nobody wants that to be their kid, but that's just the truth of the matter is, I mean, everybody isn't going to the league. Sorry. It's just,
yeah.
it's not happening.
I personally think it's one of those, after if your kids at a certain age, your child's at a certain age, where you can have that conversation with them and like just break down the facts of the matter. If your kid, like, say, for example, I'm cheap, you know this. I'm cheap. I can look in and go like, all right, we're pulling Trinidad out. He can't do it anymore. No, it's too much money. If he came to me and truly had a conversation with me, and was like, Dad, Mom, Dad, I really want to play. I want to continue playing. I know I'm not getting much playing time. I need to get better. I'm working hard at it. I just love being part of the team, part of the atmosphere. It's my social, my friends are there. Like, I really want to do this. And I'm not looking to be the next great, baseball player, basketball player, football player. I just, this is just something I really enjoy doing. And I don't know what I'm going to do
Part of
without it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
want to be part of
If my son was to be part of the team and is all that and can find his role in the system, I'm gonna be begrudgingly paying for everything he's gonna need. Um, but at the same time, if he's just sitting there bored off his butt and not practicing and not doing the things he needs to get better, and I'm still lugging around baseball bats and you know bags and stuff, and I'm like, dude, do you want to do this?
but he just
And
told
he's
you
like,
I
no,
want to do
Dad.
it. Hold on, he just told you he wants to do it, but he wants to do it for the other reasons. He doesn't want to do it to
No,
be great at that. He wants to do
no, I'm
it
not. I'm not saying
because
that.
he likes
I
the
mean, like,
lifestyle.
if he's like if he's putting an effort to do all that stuff and still want to be part of the team, I'm all for it. If he's just sitting there like a bum, not doing anything to get better, and still wants to do all that, I'm gonna be like, son, just ask for a ride and go with them, and you ain't gotta play.
Come on.
You can still be the kid that keeps the books or something. Be the water. I was the water boy in
I
high
was
school.
gonna say the
Be the
trainer
water
and the
boy.
water boy. Yeah.
Be the water boy. I was the water boy in high school basketball team. I was the water boy. I knew I couldn't play with my cousins. I was not that good at basketball. I was the water boy. I was still part of the team. It works out. Hey, I played my role.
Hey
It was
Jermaine,
all good.
Jermaine, you were not part of the team. I hate to break that to you. You were not part of the team. No, no, no. Don't. I don't want to crush you years after the fact, but you were not still part of the team.
I
Okay.
took the books. I made the Gatorade. I had the water on during timeouts and stuff. Yeah, I was there. I was part of the team. I rode on the bus. My name was on the back of the shirt. I was part of the team.
You know, when I quit playing athletics in junior high when I went to high school. Okay. And I found out my junior year, I think it was my junior year, I started doing co-op. So I was working through the school. Okay. So I
Mm-hmm.
got 2 off periods and a co-op period to where you went to class, right? So I figured out I could go in there and that would raise my GPA because I got 300s for 3 different periods,
Just having a job.
just having a
Just
job.
having a job. Got 100.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got out of class, I got out of school 2 periods a day. I was like, yeah, sign me up. I mean, I was already working after school before that. But yeah, that was a no-brainer for me. It's like, yeah, I already know where my ability kind of sets. There's a whole bunch of stuff I don't want to go through. Do I enjoy playing sports? Yeah, I enjoy doing it on a recreational level. I really truly wished when I was younger, some of this is, economic status that you were raised in.
Mm-hmm.
But I really do wish that like people would have got me into something like, hey, here, go learn how to play golf. We'll get you some golf lessons and you can go play that. Because you know what? You see 60, 70, 80-year-old guys playing golf. When's the last time you saw 80-year-old guys play fast pitch baseball or a football game? Throw on pads and go out there and get it. You didn't. So I mean, it's something that you could use like for the rest of your life. I don't think we support that near enough whenever people are younger.
Because you got to follow the money. So, I mean, no one's sponsoring golf tournaments for little kids
Yes, they
and
are.
sponsorships
You
and
know about it.
scholarships and all that
100%
stuff.
are. Way more than you ever know. But yeah, they have golf tournaments like every weekend. They have youth tournaments where they go up there. Same
Now,
the Tigers
not forever ago.
Yeah.
Not forever ago. See, I wish
They-
video games that I was playing back when I was a kid growing up, I could be on YouTube or just playing video games all the time and making my money. I could have. I missed a couple generations. I was that dude. That's what I did. Now video games are making money. I was doing that before it was cool.
Yeah,
Before it
but
was profitable.
you think you were good enough to make it at that level?
There's a couple games, yeah.
Okay.
GoldenEye 64 when it came out, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Now, granted, today's games, no,
Different level. Different level.
no.
But you didn't develop those skills to play those games as they were coming out. Back when your mind was still pretty moldable and you could
Yeah.
adjust to these things.
Put it this way, I've sponsored this year. I did a few tournaments. I sponsored an esports club at school to get kids playing Smash Brothers, Super Smash Brothers on Nintendo. I mean, I got kids, athletes playing Nintendo Switch, and I'm trying to make it. And the state's trying to make it a actual competitive sport.
There, why did a Switch get chosen here?
You can use all the systems, but like we just went with the Switch because it's easily accessible and it's not as violent as the other systems and the games you can play on there. I mean, you can play anything from Madden to 2K basketball.
So they have different
to,
levels on all that. Like you'll go
there's
against other kids playing Switches, is what I'm saying.
yeah, like you just play online. But like you get ranked play. Like the college in our area last year, they had the #1 national championship Call of Duty team at the junior college level this past year. Like esports is like the thing. Like so that's what it's like. There's kids walking around with back in the day when kids walked around with basketballs in their backpack and cleats and stuff like that. Kids today they walk around with Xbox controllers and Nintendo Switches in their backpacks. Now they still have soccer cleats and baseball bats and all that stuff too, but there's more Switches and PlayStation controllers than there are baseball bats and cleats.
Not all of them. I mean, there's some kids that are just good at everything, so it doesn't matter. But
it's true.
But
yeah. So like, how do you scheduling sports? So we just took a turn from schedules to sports in general. But hey, parents. I mean, you talking about it like you're in a league right now, and it's an affordable league, but their prices have gone up every year to get your kid in.
Yep. No, it has. And I don't know. We're talking about scheduling and time, but I think money plays into this, especially let's look at it like we're both fairly frugal dads.
I'm frugal, so I'm not. Those don't have to look at it. I'm not imagining that.
That's the thing. You go into situations and you're sitting there as a dad going, "Oh, well, look what this cost. What are we paying for this?" and all that. But at the end of the day, you're going to go up here. The minimum you can probably pay is to go play local rec league ball and let the kids find out if they like it or not. But we just talked about, hey, at some point we're going to pull kids out of here. How did Michael Jordan do on his high school basketball team?
Everybody knows that story. He got cut from the varsity, had to play JV, and
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So we're talking about, hey, we're going to make this decision when you start getting in there and see it, and some of the greatest to ever do it didn't mature or hit that level till later, or get that motivation.
but the difference is, no, he had the motivation. He just wasn't good enough in the eyes of a coach. So he pushed himself to become that. Now, how many kids talk the talk and say, I'm good at the sport I'm playing, I deserve more playing time, and then they don't put in the work to justify a coach putting them in?
That's true.
There's a difference there. But yeah, there's a whole level of like, when we had it in our town for a whole minute, they got rid of it. And you know this because your kids did it too. Like church leagues.
Yep.
Versus more competitive leagues. Like, do you want your kids to have just like a grasp of the sport with the fun of being part of a team and making friends and learning just fundamentals? Or do you want your kid to be competitive and the opportunity to win championships and keep score? And there are winners and losers, and there are no participation trophies. There is a score being kept. Like, which, as a parent, you kind of think about that too. Where do you go with that?
No, as a parent, I 100% want them to compete. I want them to learn to compete. I do not like participation trophies. I'm not a fan. I've seen my kids get them, and I feel like it just takes away from like actually winning something. Because hey, I got a trophy too, so it's all the same thing, and there wasn't any. That's the problem. I had this conversation with another dad the other day. He's got a kid that's on one of my kids' teams. And it's like when we were growing up, there was always that competitive, I want to win. And both of our kids kind of don't necessarily, and a lot of people on the team don't have that. I don't know if you'd call it a killer instinct or even a drive to win. I mean, it's a lot of it is, hey, I'm just happy to be out here playing. And hey, at the end of the game, did we win or did we lose? And not even keeping up with that. And I think a lot of that was fueled by a lot of this. Hey, everybody gets a trophy just for participating. Congratulations, we're all winners out here. And I think that's a mindset thing that maybe that's just because I'm old, I'll go with. But I think we're not instilling that like we used to.
No, we're not. We're not. I mean, I'm a high school teacher. I see it every day.
I mean,
And
I think that's a separate podcast that we'll have to get into
yeah.
because we got a couple minutes and we got to wrap up here. But
Okay.
back to
But
schedule.
yeah.
We don't have a high tech calendar. My wife takes care of most everything, so I just confirm with her where are we supposed to be, what am I supposed to do, and she generally takes care of everything else. So I mean that's how we handle it around my place. I don't know how.
Let me ask this question. Because I've done this before. As a parent of kids who are performing in sports, and your wife and yourself have a calendar, and you check in and ask questions.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever went to rush to get ready to go to a game or a practice, only to realize once you got there, oh, I messed up. It's not today.
Okay. No, but I'll tell you the only reason why. Because now we have so much technology in all of these leagues, and communication is so great that you either have apps or you have group text messages to where everybody's in there and you can go back and look, and the coach will chime in, or somebody, one of the assistant coaches or whoever will keep everybody updated as far as, hey, do we have a game today? Did the game get moved? And you can go back and look at your text messages. And that's so much better than the way it used to be. Hey, it's on the calendar. I wrote it down wrong and we got here, a day early for this game. Now,
That's true.
I mean,
That's
that
true.
that is one of the things that technology helps us out with. So
Technology is a beautiful thing, and like I said, I know it's the scheduling with that because I know co-workers that have their kids playing sports, and they're constantly getting text and being told. I mean, you got a text this morning saying that your stuff got canceled today. Like it just started raining. You're like, oh, we're not playing today. So like everybody's real good about that today. But I know back in the day, it was you never knew. It was crazy. So like that's the thing about today. Scheduling, however you go about doing it in your household. Hopefully it's working. If it's not, consider downloading an app or getting one of those big calendars on your refrigerator.
yeah,
Figure that out, dads, if you're listening, moms as well,
turn it over to
family, if you're listening.
turn it over
Hey,
to your wife. Just let your wife
yeah,
handle it. So much,
let us know.
and then if it's wrong, you can blame her.
Yeah.
So,
So, dads, let us know how things work in your house. Be sure to comment, send us an email, TikTok, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. Like, just let us know, hey, this is what we're doing. This is how it works for us. And I'll put some questions out there myself because I just like to know what people got because some people are real high tech, some are very low tech, and some are like you said, I'll just put it all on my wife. And if I miss it, I'll blame her.
that's it. There you go. That's it. All right. Most important thing is just try to be there for your kids, Dad. That's it.
There you go.
try to be there for
Schedule
'em,
your stuff for your kids.
and because they're the ones that's going to remember it. They're the ones that's going to look around and see other people there, and that'll come back up later in life. I'm pretty sure. So, all right. Well, that was a good episode. Those that made it this long, uh, just hang out because we've got some pretty big stuff coming up in the future. We're looking at maybe getting a studio to record in to where we can try to do this in person and see what that leads to, and maybe get some guests in person and see where that leads. So just hang with us. We appreciate everybody that's listening. Like, subscribe, uh,
You gotta
just
say share.
share.
You gotta share.
Yeah, we're probably not sharing enough. That's it. That's it. Don't be stingy. Let other people know about us. So, all right,
So
you got any
again,
final words, Jermaine?
um, to all the moms out there, dads, fathers, make sure you're telling your spouse and your mother, the lady that brought you into this world, wish them a happy Mother's Day. Treat them well. Treat them right. Happy wife, happy life, or something like that. I've heard. Yeah.
All right,
So.
we're out, guys.